Ancient Philippi is located 9 miles inland from the Aegean port city of Kavala. Archaeological excavations were begun in 1917. Settlement of this area began as early as 5000 BC. It was blessed with rich resources of timber, precious metals, and agricultural products, but when threatened, they sought the aid of the king of Macedonia, Philip II. Whoops! Philip saw the town's potential, conquered it himself, and gave it his name. King Philip built the theater in the 4th century BC. In the 3rd century AD, the Romans converted it to an arena for animal fights. A Christian basilica from the late 5th century AD had this impressive stairway entrance. It had 3 aisles and the floor was covered with marble paving. Paul visited Philippi with Silas and Timothy around 49 AD and ran into trouble in the city because of their healing of a slave girl. They were arrested, flogged, and imprisoned. When an earthquake miraculously opened the prison doors and released their fetters, Paul and Silas remained in the cell and comforted the jailer, who feared he would be punished for their escape. The jailer and his family then converted to Christianity. Looking across the Drama-Kavala highway, you see the predominant structure of the larger 6th century AD Christian basilica. Via Ignatian Highway, with a few remaining paving stones, has been exposed. The rest is under this hill, which supports the modern highway we just crossed. This road bordered the Greek Agora, later replaced by the Roman Forum in the 1st and 2nd century. This served as the marketplace and the gathering location and the administrative center of Philippi. Paul likely visited the Christians at Philippi during some of his other travels, and at the end of the 3rd missionary journey he visited the city again. Paul had a deep affection and appreciation for the congregation at Philippi, and he wrote, "When I left Macedonia in the early days of the gospel, no church shared with me in the matter of giving and receiving except you alone. Even when I was in Thessalonica, you sent me help for my needs more than once." This large Christian basilica was built around 550 AD, and it covered the southern half of the Agora. These huge pillars were supposed to support a large freestanding dome which would have covered a major portion of the church, but the dome collapsed prior to completion of the church. The famous Octagon Church of Philippi was dedicated to St. Paul in the 4th century AD and survived until the 7th century. It is renowned for its mosaic floor decorated with birds, trees, and geographic motifs. The roof was to protect the mosaic floors. Like a giant jigsaw puzzle, they've reassembled some of the marble floor and walkway segments. Acts 16:13 says that Paul found Lydia worshiping by the river and baptized her. One of the proposed locations is this lovely section of the Cronides River, a half-mile from Philippi. We used the location for one of our teaching sessions, and some of us commemorated our own baptisms down by the river. The baptistry of St. Lydia is right there on the grounds. It too is an octagonal building. As is obvious from this video footage, it is richly decorated in lush colors, in both stained glass and paint on the walls and ceiling. Lydia is often regarded as the first documented convert to Christianity in Europe. A mosaic on the floor of the entrance area depicts the missionary travels of St. Paul.